Dolly Parton, Puppy Love, BBC Radio London, Joe Good with Anna Webb, The Barking Hour. Now, the joy that comes with welcoming a new puppy into a home can sometimes be a little bit overshadowed by the worry about things like house training, feeding, spending time enough with your new family member. Well, now there is a celebrity dog trainer, Steve Mann, who's worked with the likes of Graham Norton and Lorraine Kelly. His new book is called Easy Peasy Puppy Squeezy, and it promises to bring any new dog owner closer to their furry friend. And I'm really pleased to say that Steve Mann joins Anna and I in the studio. Hello.
Hello, thank you very much.
They always say, don't they, there's never such a thing as a badly trained dog, it's just badly trained owners. It has to start with the owners, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We invite puppies into our world. It's not the other way around. So yeah, it's very much so the responsibilities on the owner to get it right from the very before you get the puppy.
Now, this is
Exactly.
what we need. We need to point this out to people that I have a British Bulldog. Don't say anything, I know. But as
We've got our crosses to
I know,
bear.
exactly. My God. But I could have had endless foreign holidays rather than spent
Yeah.
on it. But people will come up to me in the street and go, I want one of those, where can I get one?
Yeah.
And you just think, oh, good God, this is literally their philosophy. They just want, see, buy, get.
Oh, there should be a 10-year course that you have to do first before you get a dog. That's not just dog owners or potential dog owners, that's everyone. That's if it doesn't have a barcode, it doesn't exist really. So yeah, it's such a massive investment, and not just the money, but as you say, your life changes. The clothes that you wear, the holidays you do or don't have, the car that you do or don't have, like us, the jobs that you have. It's such a massive investment, and it isn't something that should be easy come, easy go.
So do your research before you even get the dog. Think of the dog that's going to suit your lifestyle. Anna?
In your book, it looks great, by the way. I've had a quick
Thank you.
leaf through. It's got some very interesting tips in it.
Okay.
But you say here, it's about the guide to train your puppy from 2 weeks, Now, of course, puppies can't really leave their mother until 8 weeks.
100%.
So, and that is a very important point, that a lot of how your puppy is going to be when you take it home depends on the breeder and the environment that the puppy's
Yeah.
been in, which of course we know about puppy farming and how dire dogs being reared in those conditions can be. But even, with a good dog breeder that you think's great and really responsible and loves her dogs,
Yeah.
it all begins there. So in your book, how are you addressing that early stage?
So really, the massive responsibility on breeders. It's not
Yeah.
a responsibility that I would ever take on. It's far too much. But yeah, from when the puppy's born, absolutely the clock's ticking, and they go through their neonatal phase where they're just little hairy, furry, wet slugs, and they sleep all day, a beautiful life. Then they go through their transitional stage, then into their socialisation stage. But even in that transitional stage, 3 to 4 weeks, so much work can be done on toilet training, teaching recall,
Yes.
teaching the
Sit.
puppy, a little individual bits of independence, puzzle solving, problem solving. Because a lot of problems that I see as a trainer are dogs just that don't know how to cope with frustration, and frustration is a fact of life. So literally, you could take your 3-4-week-old puppy, show them a treat, put it on the other side of a little pile of books. They will soon realise that they can't go through the books. They have to stop, use the front of their brain, think, and go, oh, I can go left and right.
Yes.
So just being able to think, make decisions, and reason really help build up that dog's tolerance of frustration.
One of the most frustrating things we hear on this show is people will email us and say, I've got a dog, it's been behaving really well,
Yeah.
then suddenly I'll come home from work and it's weed over a carpet, or it's weed. Why suddenly will they be doing so well in their training and then go right the way back?
Yeah, 100%. The dog's done this for no reason, out of the blue, which there's always a motivation, there's always fuel behind any behaviour. What I would say as a kind of a catch-all statement is, if an unwanted behaviour has suddenly started, the main rule out that you need to do is a vet check. Because when I have behaviour cases, I'll always look for what we call rule out. Is there what's changed medically, what's changed in the environment? And if nothing, then we get stuck into the behaviour mod. But 9 times out of 10, there'll be new neighbours, or the kids have been away on holiday and now they've gone back to school and the dog's got nothing to do. Or it could just be teething with a puppy. Older dogs could be incontinence. They're very much very often there's a medical reason. That's the main rule out that I wanna. That's job number one to tick off.
Do you? I mean, you know, you hear people sort of humanising their animals, saying, "Oh, they did that as a, you know, as a demonstration against
to get their
my
own back.
behaviour." I mean, I don't honestly believe dogs would do that. Would they? They're not. They don't think like that, do they?
No, I mean, what a tremendous abstract dog you'd have that they weed on a carpet Thursday because you went out on Monday and you left me for 2 hours. And absolutely not. They're not as cunning as us. They're beautiful. It's our lives. You know, I love them. It's everything I think and do is about dogs. But they're quite simple in the fact that they're quite input output. They'll do behaviours that work for them. They do the behaviours that pays well. And
that's an interesting comment there, actually,
Right.
because my next question, actually,
Okay.
Steve, is why do you think that if you turn your dog's world into a game based on rules, boundaries, and teamwork, you've hit the jackpot?
I can't disagree. Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, that sounds quite a nice life for me. There's rules. I know my boundaries, so I'm not going to put my head above the parapet where I don't need to. And yeah, if everything I do is I look at as a game,
A game.
amazing. I can't wait to wake up
Because I
tomorrow.
noticed how when you're training sit in here, I had a quick scan through,
Okay.
and you go, you know, make it fun, make it a party. That's how you phrase it.
Okay, yeah, especially
And
for the
so
toilet
it's
training.
like fun. Well, and toilet training, but the sit,
Yeah.
because of course sit. If your dog's jumping up, sit
Sit
sorts
is-
out the jumping up. Sit is such a key command, isn't it?
And it is, and it's a very, very valuable, what we call an MEB, a mutually exclusive behaviour, because a lot of people will, well, most owners, when they've got a problem behaviour, the question to me is, how do I stop the dog doing X, Y, and Z? And I can't teach them how to stop the dog, but I can teach them to teach the dog to do something else instead.
Okay.
Because behaviour is behaviour.
And someone's jumped on the bandwagon as you're here and says, "Dear Joe and Anna, I'm listening to you. Please can I ask for some advice and techniques to work with my little dog who will often lunge and bark frantically from the lead towards bigger, louder vehicles such as vans, lorries and buses as they pass by. Often when we're just walking along the path down the lane. I suspect it might be a fear-based behaviour. I've tried reassuring her when the vehicles approach, but this is only very occasionally does it work. The majority of the time, when we encounter these vehicles, she will lunge at them and bark frantically. This is little dog, big vehicle. What would you advise?"
Yeah, little dog. I mean, I've got 5 dogs, but I've got a little
you
chihuahua
lucky
across.
thing. I'd love a pack of 5. That's my dream. Do you live in London?
I live in Hertfordshire.
So you have a big garden.
Very lucky, very lucky. So, but of most, my background is working dogs, a lot of German Shepherds and bigger detection dogs. So when I took on Nancy, my little chihuahua across
Nancy.
Beelzebub, Nancy Muscles, I had to look at the world from her perspective, and it's a scary world, you know. She's living in a land of giants. If she's afraid of anything, or any little dog, or any dog is afraid of anything, it's no good. Let's use the example of traffic. It's no good keep going out into the traffic and having our fingers crossed. That's not behaviour modification. What we need to do is a 2-pronged process: desensitisation and counter conditioning. Very quickly, desensitisation is being exposed to the stimulus, let's say lorries, at suitable distance, so the dog is aware of the lorry but not over aroused by the lorry. Lots of steady exposure that way to build up an immunity that, okay, this lorry's not going to eat me, that's fine. So that's the desensitisation side of things. So go and hang out in Tesco's car park where lorries move slowly. There's no surprises, there's no ambushing. And then the second prong is counter conditioning. Maybe this dog is conditioned to fear traffic. Counter conditioning is changing that emotional response. So when you see a stationary lorry, treat. See a lorry, treat.
Clever.
I was just going to say that very often with these types of behaviours, the owners are actually unwittingly reinforcing the fear by, you know, "Oh, don't worry, it's only a lorry. Oh, hang on, the big lorry's coming, there's going to be a big noise in a minute."
Yes, certainly. It's no good keep going back to the same road and expecting something to change. That's the definition of madness, and that's not training. And if you're going to train, you need to do it properly.
So, by the way, we're talking about the book Easy Peasy Puppy Squeezy, and we're talking to Steve Mann, the dog trainer. So 2 more questions then. You are lucky enough to have a pack. I mean, I love seeing dogs in groups because I always say this, you see the personality of each dog in a group, I think. Is it easier to train to bring a puppy into a pack? I mean, how many people are lucky enough to have a pack in the city? But do you think it's easier because the other dogs will help?
I adore my dogs. I would adore having one dog though, because my life would be so much easier. My time is split between 5 dogs. You know, as much as I love them, as much as I put as much attention into them, at the very best they're getting 20%.
And are you saying that each one of them needs a different kind of discipline then?
Not so much discipline, but lifestyle.
Right.
We've all got our niche, me included, my wife and my son. We've all got our niche, and that maybe changes. That's slightly fluid, but you know, we've got a couple of older dogs that like a little bit of a quiet life and a bit of a mooch. We've got Nancy, we've got Pablo Mustafi, we've got a rescue Lurcher, and they're all rescue dogs. Some of them are crazy fruitcakes and they need a blast. Some of them, while the others are blasting, they'll just catch a few Zs. So it's easier to train one dog.
Really?
Absolutely.
Anna, final question.
Well, and how important is it to give your dog, if you have more than one, the one-to-one attention that, you know, I've always
Good
thought
question.
dogs need?
One-to-one attention, yeah, very, very important, because you don't want them going off feral and setting up their own community
No,
elsewhere.
you definitely don't.
So
Not if you've got a bull terrier.
I need to stay in the mix as well, and hopefully we all complement each other's lives.
Exactly.
But I want to make sure that I'm in that
By the way,
mix.
Steve, we've got something in
Yes.
common. I didn't realise
What's
till I read
that?
the notes
You've
on our
got 3
running
nipples
order.
as well. I'm only joking.
Well, not that I knew.
I've known her for so long.
Well, there you go, Joe. There's a surprise. No, we were both on the Underdog show. But were you on the
Many
pro?
moons.
Yeah,
Well,
did you
talk about this later
Okay.
because we're running out of time.
Happy
Can I
days.
just say that the book is out now, Easy Peasy Puppy Squeezy. We've been speaking to Steve Mann. And final question, puppy classes, worth it or not?
Every good class is worth it. Every bad class, disaster.
Hear, hear.